All right, next up as we continue along here. Now that's it for the weeknight action. We've gotten through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday games. Now we will move to the marquee headline Saturday games on the college football slate, starting with SMU and Virginia. We've got SMU 9.5-point road favorites, 58.5 the total in this game. SMU, obviously, last week against Boston College, certainly got a tougher game than I think a lot of people expected. At 38-28, it was a point spread cover for BC in defeat. Grayson James, of course, he became the quarterback last week. They made the change from Castellanos. He played okay, but still made an interception. Still, 18 of 32, does need to be more efficient. Kai Robichaux had a decent game running the football. Kevin Jennings, again, was pretty solid at quarterback for SMU. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. They ran the football well. Brashard Smith and company, and, of course, led at receiver by Jordan Hudson, who had a very strong game. They racked up over 400 total yards of offense, but they did struggle against BC's offense. 237 through the air, 180 on the ground for BC. BC ended up with 400 yards, so it wasn't a great performance from the SMU defense in that game. And we still have seen them give up points. Now, their offense is humming. During this 7-game win streak, 5-2 ATS, their offense 66, 42, 34, 40, 28, 48, 38. I mean, 28's the low water mark for what SMU's done offensively going into this game. Now, the question is, what can Virginia do offensively? Because I'll tell you what, I don't know if I've seen a quarterback have a worse half of football than Anthony Calandria had last week against Notre Dame. Holy mackerel. Every throw, pick. It was just an interception fest for him. He was giving early Christmas gifts to the Notre Dame secondary in that game last week against the Fighting Irish. Here you go, interception for you. I mean, at that point, Tony Elliott had no fucking choice to go to the Musket Man in the second half. He had to because it was just that bad. It became almost embarrassing. You felt sad for the guy, Calandria, with the way he was going in that first half against Notre Dame. But it was too little too late. Virginia defense just gets absolutely ripped apart by Notre Dame. We actually called off the Dogs in the early part of the second half. Once it got to 35-0, they actually called it off. Thankfully for me, because I did grab a little Virginia plus 22, and thanks to that late touchdown drive.
Like 15 seconds left.
Yep, thank you very much. Thanks you to the Musket Man who ran it in from 2 yards out to get them inside the number. Plus 22, they lose by 21, 35-14. But don't be fooled by the final score. Virginia was totally outclassed, by Notre Dame for much of that game. But, SMU is leaking a little bit defensively the last couple. You have to lay 9.5 on the road. I'm not really feeling that with SMU. And there's a great deal of pressure on SMU. They have to keep winning, and they can still win the ACC, still be in the playoff. But the pressure's mounting on them. And I think they felt some of that pressure last week against Boston College because they did not play a clean game, and their defense gave up big plays to Boston College. So I don't feel totally comfortable with SMU laying 9.5. I don't know if I'm going to take Virginia either because this is a big, challenge for them. And at times against the absolute best teams they've played, they've had a tough time. Maybe I can get there with an over because I think SMU is going to score like they usually do. 30s and 40s would not shock me. Against this Virginia defense, a Virginia defense that gave up 41 to North Carolina earlier this season, 48 to Clemson. So certainly SMU's offense, I think, is capable, of getting into the 40s. And can you get 20 points maybe out of Virginia? If you do, there's your over. You get 60, and that's going to take you over. So that's where I lean, over 58 here. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, depending where you got it, over that. You could have got the crazy cover there. Virginia was doomed right off the opening kick. Dude fumbled it right off the fucking shoot.
You knew right away their day, and yet they still covered because Notre Dame had some mercy on them.
Yeah, they did. They let it off. Yeah, at SMU, the pressure's on them to keep winning. There's a few games. I know they're at home, BC, with the new quarterback, but that Duke game, I thought they got lucky to get out. But 9-1 already cashed the season win total. Another one for us. Easy winner. Yep. Yeah. So, and they can win these two. This seems, if I was getting over the 10, I have Virginia. But one problem with Virginia is after that horrible game, I think they played better. Calandria, just like you talked about, God damn. Was he bad? But we've seen it at home. We're going to get the good or the bad.
Yeah.
Like, I took them against Louisville. They covered a 7-point dogs at home. But they had the Maryland game where they were pathetic and lost 27-13. Didn't do anything in the second half. I talked about that game. It was just 3-and-out punt. It seemed like every possession. And then they got that ass kicked October 26th against North Carolina, 41-14. And then they have a home win against BC, or October 5th, 24-14. So we're going to get the good or the bad Virginia team here at home. I kind of think they played better just because they were so bad last week. So I kind of lean their way. There's not really 10s out there, are there? It's all 9.5.
It's pretty much 9.5. I don't see a 10 right now. No.
We'll see. If I get over 10, they might make it there for me.
Yeah, no doubt. All right.